doesn't start till I touch the microphone, right?
Nice try.
Lying to me. All right.
407 years ago. Our fathers, that's the wrong speech. As actually was kind of a good segue to talk about this, because the Battle of Gettysburg was kind of like the turning point of the Civil War. And here it is, we're kind of like the turning point of Forsyth County right now. Not to steal a turning point from anybody, but that's kind of where we are. Unlike the flyer that was sent to Adam, they kind of tagged me. They said I was unhinged Hank. Well, you know what? I kind of am. I kind of am a little bit unhinged, because I've seen the way that this county's been run, and I've seen it close up and personal. I've done the work. I've done the research. I've watched the videos. I've seen how this county commission operates, and the way that this happens, it really kind of makes me a little bit unhinged. I'm 71 years old now. I never had any political aspirations. I'm very learned politically, but I never had any aspirations myself. But here it is. I'm being almost forced in my mind to come out and throw my hat in the ring to change the course of this county commission. We talked a little bit about the administration boondoggle out on Freedom Parkway. $140 million. I don't know how much it's going to cost in the end. That's the number that's being thrown around. $140 million is $2,000 per household of 4 people in this county. And 3 people out of 280,000 people made the decision to spend that money. First of all, that's outrageous to me in the first place. I've been living in Forsyth County now for over 40 years. I live in Mountainside. We live in our house for the last 38 years. And I've never seen the kinds of actions taken by a county commission like I've seen here. When we built the original county administration building, 1995, that building cost $4.6 million. Do you think that the county commission at that point decided to just take that on their own and make that decision? No, they put it to the voters, because this is a conservative county. Well, when you're conservative, the most conservative thing you can do is let the voters decide what they want to do with their own money, rather than you deciding what you're going to do with their money. That, to me, is the essence of conservatism. It boils down to the will of the people. It's that kind of discussion. It's a discussion about republicanism, where when I sit on this board, I will represent people. I will not represent the county to them, I'll represent them to the county. But that's not the way it works now. It's a completely different situation here. So when they take $140 million, and the night of the vote, this is where they lost me. It was January 18th, 2024. And Cindy Mills raised the question, because they had talked about this for several months. All of a sudden, this is the night they're going to vote to fund the contract. So Cindy Mills raised the question. She says, I don't know why we're talking about this, because we haven't resolved how we're going to even be able to vote out there. Well, and she said the only reason why she even knows anything about that is because the county manager came to her to ask her to go to the city to talk to the city about annexing the property, because nobody else on the county commission, save one, had a relationship with the city. They had already burned all their bridges with the city. They couldn't speak to the city. So she was elected to go talk to the city. Well, that's not the role here. So the next thing is, we hear we hear Laura Simonson say, well, I'm just learning about that right now. So Cindy learned about it in September. Laura Simonson says she learns about it when Cindy's talking. Then Carrie Hill says, well, I just learned about it this morning. Then Alfred John says, well, I've known about it for 2 years. And I was told everybody knew about it. And then we have our county manager and our county attorney. And we have a paper trail that says that they know about it 11 and a half months before that. Now, I don't know why our county attorney wouldn't know about that long before they bought the property for $5 million. I don't know, how can he not? He's paid to know this. He was paid to know this in 2017 when they're portraying that this is when it all started. But why didn't he know that? I don't understand that. And I don't understand how all these stories can come together and nobody's narrative agrees with anybody else's narrative. So, folks, that's when they lost me. No one was leveling with us to tell us how on earth this kind of a decision could be made with 140 million taxpayer dollars. That was outrageous. But that was just the beginning. How many subscribers do I have in here? Anybody? We're the smartest people in Forsyth County, I'll tell you that. How many undecided voters in District 1 do we have right here? All right, I'm talking to you. Okay. See, most everybody in here has already made up their minds, and that's fine. But this is a partisan crowd. You've chosen people, except for a smattering in here, and that's fine. But it's like, why are we doing this? I don't know. So they broke all precedent with this building by assuming the responsibility for the outcome themselves. It was a bad idea. The next thing I saw, hello. The next thing was that they reneged on a SPLOST deal with the city. After several months of discussing SPLOST with the city of Cumming, then county attorney sends a proposal to the city. It says final proposal. So the city the proposal comes from the county and it went to the city. So the city read the proposal and they approved it. Then they sent it back with very little time on the clock. And what does the county do? They say, well, no, we're not going to approve that. Wait a minute, this proposal came from the county and you're not going to approve it? I don't understand that. How can you not approve it when you sent it to the city? And there's very little time on the clock. So they dropped down the city's percentage and then sent it back to them, causing the city to have to come together in a special meeting just to approve that with no time on the clock. That's not how you do business. That's not how you create a relationship with other governing bodies. I'm glad Carrie's here tonight. This is her inaugural visit into the city. I wish the mayor were here because I'd like to introduce them. You see, they've never had a conversation. 60% of the people in the city are in District 1. They are also represented by the county commission because they pay county taxes. Those people have no representation whatsoever with this county commission. There is a battle going on between the county and the city that is being waged by the county. I know for a fact it's not the city waging this. The city is pushing back. The city is they're the ones being assaulted by all this. It is the county that refuses to work with the city. We can't have that. When I am commissioner here, we're gonna work together for the people. We're gonna work together with the city and we're gonna dedicate resources to the city to help everybody in the county to flourish. The city is the center of this county. How many people pass through the city every day that live in the county? I'm one of them. Well, the city put in a bypass, just so I, who live in the county, can go straight over to Pilgrim Mill at over 400. Well, I'm using that every day. All of you using that every day. But the city did that for county people. So there's no separation between the county and the city. It's all the same people. So why are we having this big fight? I don't get that. And it's upsetting to me to imagine that we're going to withhold money from SPLOST that would build an extra lane on Highway 20 to help a lot of those people get around that constant backup in traffic going into town if they're just going to turn right on Castleberry. Well, that was part of the SPLOST projects for the city. But the county reneged on that.
4 minutes.
Reneged on that. So it's like, so all these people that live in the county, they come in there and they're just gonna have to sit in traffic, even though they want to turn right on Castleberry. See, it's all the same thing. It's all, we have two different governments here, but there's no reason why we can't work together. But they can't work together as long as this county commission is in power. It's just not gonna happen. And so that's one of the big reasons why this is gonna go. The last thing is this moratorium. There's no reason for the moratorium. I'm a graduate civil engineer from Georgia. I built custom homes. But before I did that, I built subdivisions. I know all about single-family subdivisions. The biggest reason why our county has been known as the fastest growing county in America is because of one thing: mass clearing and grading. That is a process by which a developer comes in and takes out all the trees and then moves all the dirt from this side of the subdivision over to this side of the subdivision and pads out all the lots. That's not single family subdivision. That is what you use when you're building townhouses, when you're building, say, Home Depot parking lots, things like that, but not single family. But this county does that. Excuse me. The tree ordinance is a joke because before the tree ordinance even takes effect, they've already taken out all the trees. And so then it becomes a process of, well, how many do you have to put back? And it's what sizes? It's insane. You have to control growth in this county because 90% of the growth has been coming from mass clearing and grading. Abolish mass clearing and grading. When I was building the subdivision, you couldn't do that. It's not like you're starting something new. It's like you're going back to the way things have always been done in single family residential construction. You don't go in there and just take out all the trees. And if you did that, 90% of these subdivisions that have been developed contributing to the rate of population growth here, they wouldn't have been developed because you were facilitating that by allowing them to mass clear and grade in the first place. I'm wondering what is our engineering department doing? They've been sitting there for a year waiting to go over somebody's plans, but they can't submit the plans because we have a moratorium because our population is growing too fast. And so now, what are they doing? We're paying them to just sit there and not review plans? You see, there's no reason for that. There's no reason to abolish building when the problem is one specific kind of building. Yeah, I am a little bit unhinged. And somebody asked me last week, said, well, you know, you're still gonna be a minority when you get on the commission. I said, well, no, I'm not. Because, you know, I write about what I see, what I understand about the way the county is operating. 12 seconds. When I become commissioner, I'm gonna bring you in there with me. you're gonna understand how this commission operates, you're gonna understand all of the things that they're doing.
Time.
All right, thank you.